Have you ever just wanted to absolutely snap after being pushed way too far? Well, today we're diving into an epic explainer of what I consider the ultimate underdog journey. We're going to trace one student's explosive transformation from a bullied, totally submissive nice guy straight into a terrifying underworld boss. It's a crazy story of hidden power, brutal betrayal, and honestly, the sweetest payback. We're starting with the ultimate hook here. Our protagonist, a high schooler named Jang, finally reaches his absolute breaking point. A whole decade of sacrifice just callously thrown away, and he drops this line. For 10 years, I tried to be a good person. Fine, I'll show you what a real bad boy looks like. This isn't just a threat, guys. It's a promise that sets this entire cinematic narrative into motion.
Which brings us to Section 1, the 10-year betrayal.
So to really understand his rage, we have to look at his secret. When they were kids, his crush, Soo-jin, witnessed her dad being violent and swore she only wanted a quote-unquote kind, gentle man. To keep a promise to her, Jang suppressed his true nature entirely, like completely. You've got nice guy Jang wearing these fake glasses, letting local punks shake him down, acting just completely pathetic. But the real Jang, the Fire Bear heir, he's decked out in Gucci, radiating wild confidence and totally ready to step right into his rightful place as gang royalty.
So what actually shatters this 10-year facade? Well, it's the ultimate betrayal. Soo-jin actually abandons Jong for a thug named Shen Jang. Get this, she literally tells Jong that after trying the whole gentle and kind thing, she actually prefers bad boys now. I mean, what an absolute gut punch, right? The girl he suppressed his entire identity for suddenly prefers the exact same bullies who make his life miserable. You can't make this up.
And that heartbreak leads us directly into Section 2, awakening the gang heir.
Heartbroken and absolutely furious, Jang decides he's done playing nice. He embraces his dark destiny, marches right up to his underworld uncles, and demands official heir training. Oh, and by the way, he reveals his father is actually the strongest gang boss in the entire country. But that raises a massive question for us, right? How exactly does a supposed model student possess this monstrous physical power? Because during a brutal physical test, he effortlessly dominates the gang's reigning arm wrestling champion. No sweat.
Well, the secret to his power is honestly both hilarious and weirdly logical. It all started with 10 years of massages. Seriously, to cope with his stressful double life, Jong spent a decade giving his giant hulking gang uncles deep tissue massages every single night. And this relentless stress built up an unnatural iron grip, basically conditioning him like a superhuman training montage. Which brings us to the apple crusher technique. His hands have literally become lethal weapons. He can lock onto opponents and snap bones as easily as crushing a piece of fruit. Now it's time to test those weapons in Section 3, reclaiming the soul ring. Armed with this devastating apple crusher grip, Jang sets out to take back a stolen heirloom from his tormentor, and along the way he starts building a fierce crew. First up is Song-shi. He's a stoic judo expert with just immense physical strength. After sparring with Jang and seeing his raw power firsthand, Song-shi quickly becomes this fiercely loyal right-hand man. He's essentially the calm, tactical muscle to complement Jang's explosive grip.
And here is where Zhang finally stops holding back. He corners the bully Shen Jing in a dark alley to take back that ring, and guys, the result is an absolute beatdown. Using his monstrous grip, he effortlessly shatters Shen Jing's collarbone and literally physically crushes his ribs, tearing the soul ring right back off his hand. It's brutal. He just leaves the bully utterly broken and terrified.
Which escalates things right into Section 4, the warehouse showdown.
Because bullies rarely learn their lesson the first time. Humiliated and literally shaved bald by Jang's protective uncles, a desperate Shen Jing decides to play dirty. The stakes just completely skyrocket here. He exploits Song-shi's injured leg, beats him down using a massive numbers advantage, and traps both him and Jang's childhood crush, Soo-jin, in an abandoned warehouse guarded by 6 armed thugs. It's a deadly snare specifically designed to break Jang once and for all.
But of course, Jang doesn't back down. He and a fierce new ally, Lee Yu-ji, rush the warehouse, kicking off a cinematic, incredibly hard-hitting brawl. Jang unleashes this wild battle cry, literally yelling, "Crushing potatoes." And his grip strength absolutely tears through Shen Jing's crew. He's grabbing wrists, arms, weapons, just crushing them as easily as mashed potatoes. The raw, terrifying power of the Fire Bear heir is fully unleashed for everyone to see. Then, Shenjing plays a wild card. He brings in a rogue adult thug uncle he paid off. Just when things look totally dire for our young heroes, we get this incredibly hype moment. Enter Uncle Shu. Zhang's impeccably dressed, terrifyingly strong uncle steps onto the scene and casually launches the enemy thug straight into a concrete wall with a brutal, physics-defying spinning soccer kick. And just like that, the fight is officially, and very violently, over.
But this fight also brings a profound emotional climax, forcing Zhang to really compare the two women in his life right now. On one side, you have Su Zhen's superficial clinging. Like after Zhang violently saves her life, she suddenly plays the victim, crying about how scary bad boys are. Give me a break, right? But on the other side is Li Yuji's genuine battlefield support. She literally rode a scooter straight into a dangerous warehouse to back him up. In a highly satisfying moment, Zhang coldly rejects the hypocritical Su Zhen. He finally realizes who his true allies actually are.
We then roll right into our final act, Section 5, the impending alliance war.
With Shenjing arrested, Zhang is now the undisputed boss of his school. But stepping up in the underworld means entering a much more dangerous arena. Li Yuji brilliantly steps up as his tactical advisor, breaking down the massive ignorant normal alliance. The key players here are incredibly deadly. You've got Park Mingjun from Chang'an School who uses lethal taekwondo, while Zhang represents Jalen School with his devastating grip strength. So Zhang has basically just declared war on an alliance of over 100 members. Yeah, 100.
But he isn't walking into this war empty-handed. He receives the engraved dagger. Now, this isn't just any weapon. It's a brutal blessing and an official acknowledgement from the country's absolute strongest gang boss, who happens to be Zhang's father. By presenting this custom dagger, his dad officially crowns Zhang as the underworld heir. So he's no longer just some high school boss, he has the terrifying backing of the entire Fire Bear gang behind him.
But as we wrap up this explainer, a really critical question remains. Can Zhang actually survive this looming alliance war? Because while Zhang is busy preparing to fight rival schools, his traitorous uncle Li Shiwan, who is terrified of Zhang's rapid rise, is secretly messaging those rival bosses to get ready. So what deadly trap awaits our newly awakened Fire Bear heir next? You definitely won't want to miss how this crazy saga